I said salute to the untouchable True School Sports Empire,
That's
taking
right, the
over
untouchable.
not only the South Florida boxing scene, but the worldwide boxing scene.
It's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
See
All
if
right.
I can not mess this one up.
All right, Brendan Taylor here, True School Sports. I'm with South Carolina's very own Logan Holler. What's good?
How are you doing?
Good to see you again.
It's been a while, so it's good to see you.
Been a long time. Well, finally, I'm excited to finally post this interview.
Yeah. I won't mess it up this time.
Yeah. But Logan, for people that don't know who you are, tell people who's Logan Holler.
Oh my gosh, I don't know if we have time for that on the interview.
Oh, but that might be a whole documentary.
I know, right? Long story short, I'm a country girl from South Carolina who grew up riding horses and somehow turned into a boxer, and more so to that. But I'm here in South Florida. I moved here for training, and just living and training every day.
Yeah, did some wrestling.
God-fearing woman.
That's it. You did some wrestling in between.
Yeah, some pro wrestling, and we love some pro wrestling, some WWE.
Yeah. Yeah. You've had an interesting career. I know, now you're here with Derik Santos, and you've had a couple setbacks. But just talk about your career and where it's at right now.
Yeah, so definitely had some setbacks. I like to say that 2022 was kind of a growing year versus looking at the negative. It was a growing year. It was a learning year. It was the first fight I had without my father, which affected me a lot more than I thought. And it was really, really tough without him. So, just mentally wasn't in the best place this year. So I'm really working on getting back to my relationship with the Lord and getting back with him and just getting my mental health back where it needs to be. I've dealt with depression for a very long time, and it comes and goes. And like I've said before, I'm a suicide survivor, so I've been to the lowest of lows. And this year was definitely a very big low. So, but God has a plan, and through the struggle you find strength. So that's where I'm at now. I'm here with Derik. I'm loving it. I'm learning. I'm growing physically, but also mentally, which is the most important thing. So I'm excited for what 2023 has to bring.
That is the most important thing, because I've been seeing you at the gym here for a couple of years, around South Florida, and you're like naturally an athletic person. Like it doesn't seem like like you're a good fighter. You're a good fighter, but mentally you got to have that.
Yeah.
Both those things
that.
in order.
Yeah, and it's some people are able to get in the ring and block everything out, and it's not that easy for me. What's going on outside the ring, I tend to bring with me. So it's a weakness that I have to work on, and being able to channel my focus when I'm in the ring, when I'm boxing, and I wasn't able to do that. And so that's what I'm really working on. And like I said, I've worked on my body and my cardio, and all that has always been good. But if this isn't right, nothing's going to be right. So that's when I was like, I really, really need to focus on that a lot more. And Derik's really been great in helping me with that and believing in myself. That's the main thing. He helps me believe in myself. So I'm able to believe in myself having the support of him. So it's been really great. And the people here at the gym.
Great people. You mentioned Derik Santos. What does he do specifically that helps, that kind of gets through to you, that makes you feel more comfortable in the ring?
Well, I think he, just like, you being really sweet and giving me a compliment, he said the same thing. He said, you're athletic. You can do this. You need to trust yourself. You have the skill. And he's helped me to develop me as a fighter, not me pretending to be another fighter or putting me in a box of another fighter and trying to emulate someone else. He's like, we're going to find the best Logan, and we're going to find your strength, and we're going to amplify those. So it's just me being able to trust me and believe in myself. He's not trying to make me be somebody else. He's not trying to make my style be somebody else. He's finding what I can do, what my skills are, and making them better and fine-tuning them. And with that, I can trust myself, and I can believe in myself, and I can know that I can do this. And I didn't have that for the longest time mentally, with my self-talk. So it's helped a lot.
So would you say you trust yourself more now?
Oh, yeah. I trust myself that I can do this. I think for the longest time, I struggled with, having no amateur experience and coming from a completely different sport. I rode horses all my life.
Equestrian, yeah.
Yeah, equestrian, yeah, and all my life and into college, and I played volleyball and soccer and other sports, and then to come into boxing, even though I was athletic, it's a different sport, and I never wanted anybody to look at me and be like, oh, she's just trying to do this, you know? I was like, no, like my heart's in this, and I really want this. And so for the longest time, I felt like I had that, I was an outsider, you know, like I didn't belong because I didn't do amateurs and I didn't grow up. But like a lot of people have said to me, when I first started boxing, even, you know, years ago, like women's amateurs wasn't really there as much. So it wasn't like there was the biggest option to do that. And again, God has a plan. There's a reason why I've done everything I've done, and then I'm here now. So just have to walk by faith even when I can't see.
Absolutely, and the beautiful thing about your position is that, you know, like there's women's boxing's on fire right now. There's a lot of great things happening in women's boxing. Are there any fights out there that ideally you'd like moving forward? Is there anybody out there you'd want to fight?
Really, I just want to fight. I don't really have anybody specific in mind. Eventually, I would like to get a championship opportunity this year, next year. But I have to get back in the winning column to do that, and I know that. So I have a long road ahead of me. I have a big mountain to climb. So really, it's just whoever my manager and promoter, you know, want me to fight and put in front of me. I'd like to get back to 154. I've been fighting in the 60s. I'd like to get back to 154. It's just not the biggest divisions. But get back in that winning column and then hopefully be a contender.
Yeah, the right things will line up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just give it to God. Let him figure it out.
Well, you keep mentioning the Lord. How does that help you prepare and be in the ring?
Well, you know, like I said, this was the first year, you know, without my dad, and I lost him in the previous year, at the end of the previous year. But after I lost him, I was extremely numb, and the grieving period didn't hit me till 2020. I was very numb for a long time, so I thought I was okay, but it was just, you know, myself pushing everything down. And then the grieving period started in 2020 and just kind of took me out. But I had realized that, you know, since my dad passed, I had kind of, you know, strayed from God. Like I knew God was there, I knew he loved me, but I didn't have a relationship with him like I should. And I think the tribulations and the trials that I've been through at the end of this year got me back to him. And I think it was as rough as they were, and as in a low place I went to after some of the struggles, it was, you know, God's way of saying like, hey, like let's get back to me, let's get back to our relationship, because our relationship is what's most important. I think a lot of athletes tend to, and me included, tend to put our value on our success in this world, on our wins and our losses and our championships. And to me, you know, value in this world is being a good person, having a good heart, you know, loving the Lord and showing people his light, and I had gotten away from that.
Yeah.
So I feel mentally that is helping me be better, because there's no pressure at the end of the day, you know, because God's going to love me no matter what, as long as I'm a good person and show who he is on the platform that I have. Win, lose, knockout, whatever. So that's been able to help take a lot of the pressure off, because I've gotten back to my relationship with the Lord, because that's the number one thing that was off. So all of this stuff in 2022 that didn't go the way I had planned, you know, because God has his own plans, kind of put me back on track to mentally getting where I need to be. So
okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any fighters that you would like to watch? Anybody maybe who influenced your style at all?
No, I really am just a fan of the sport. I like to watch everybody, even MMA. Like I just like watching any combat sport. I tend to I like watching people's stories, honestly, more importantly than like their fight. Like I love documentaries. I love getting into the mind of people, because then it also helps me connect, like, you know, seeing what people go through and how they feel during a training camp, or, you know, leading up to a fight, and I can relate to that and be like, oh, so it's not just me. Like everybody feels this way. So I tend to just try to soak up all the knowledge from people's minds. But really, I like watching everybody, you know.
So anybody's story that really, you know, hit home and touched you in the sport of boxing?
You know, I appreciate, not a lot of people will talk about it, but I appreciate, you know, Tyson Fury talking about his mental health. And what he went through, especially when you look at someone who, like, I mean, I would love to be the world champion like he is.
Heavyweight champion at that, you know.
Yeah, and to have all that, but for him to still be empty and still feel the way he felt, it just shows you that, like, these worldly possessions, they don't have any value. They don't matter. It's, you know, it's what's inside. It's your heart. It's your relationship with God. And so it was nice to hear him talk about that. You know, I've never met him. I don't know him, but to hear him talk about his mental health and his struggle, I think it's just, and athletes nowadays being able to talk about it, because it took them a while and it was always so taboo, you know? So it's nice that athletes are able to start talking about this stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So people know they're not alone.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't want to hold you up too much longer,
No,
Logan.
you're good.
Okay.
I love talking to you, so it's great.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good, because you know sometimes people like they're in a rush to get back to training and whatnot.
No, you're good.
Okay,
You're easy
okay.
to talk to. You're great. So.
Thank you. You mentioned Fury. Was there anything specifically he said like in his about his mental health that like kind of was relatable? I know.
Yeah, I think it was when he talks about just that he was at the pinnacle of his career, money, fame, you know, all worldly things, but he had reached his goal and what he wanted, and the fact that he still felt empty, you know, and just being someone who's gone through mental health and has dealt with depression for a very long time, you know, I understand that. And that just really hit home to me too, just to remember that these goals that I'm trying to get of being a world champion one day and all that is great, but remember why you started, remember why you love the sport, and remember why God put you here. It's not about, because when I go to heaven, I'm not taking that title with me, I'm not taking the money with me, you know, so it's just remembering to keep a good heart and be a good person through all of it, and trying to, anybody I interact with, you know, make their day better and influence them in the best way that I can, so.
Yeah, be a ray of sunshine.
Yeah, it's not always easy. Life is tough, but you know, you try. That's all you can do.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I don't have any more questions, honestly. But Logan, any final message to the boxing world you want to give before in the interview?
Yeah, no, I'm just thankful for the support and thankful for the support of women's boxing, especially this past year, and just continue. And like I said, anybody out there dealing with any mental health or any issues like that, just you're not alone. You're enough. You have a purpose here. You know, just keep going. I've been there. I know what it's like. So just keep pushing. Just keep working. And you know, I got your back. So
There you have it.
yeah.
Logan Holler, the Wonder Woman from South Carolina. Thank you for talking to True School Sports.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. For more great boxing content just like this video, click right here and make sure you subscribe. Much love from sunny South Florida.